Hey up guys, it's the Yorkshire Pudding. Mastering Mixology. You know what, it's a bit like Marmite. Everyone I know fucking hates it. Mastering Mixology is a minigame released for the Herblore skill that is less AFK, less experience per hour, but on the flip side it's a cheaper way to train Herblore compared to making potions. In fact, it can be quite profitable, and there are some genuinely useful rewards along with some collection log items, which I'll outline at the end of this video. To get started, you need to complete the Children of the Sun quest in Herblore. I recommend at least 81 Herblore before starting the minigame, as you get to make every type of potion, especially if you're only here to get the points for the collection log slots. It'll just make the whole thing run a lot smoother, but if you're desperate to get stuck in, then you can start from level 60. The location of the minigame is located here on the southwestern island of Herblore named Alderin. Just go down the stairs in this building. To those wondering how you get here, head to Herblore by taking the Quetzal east of Varrock or teleporting to Civitas Illa Fortis, and then taking this Quetzal here to Alderin after completion of the Twilight's Promise. Alternatively, you can use the fairy ring code CKQ to take you here. If you want to practice for the upcoming sailing skill, take the boat here to get to the island. Once you enter the minigame, you'll have to speak with one of the NPCs in this first room to get started. I cannot remember which of the two NPCs it is, but I've got a useful tip for you. If it's not the first one you speak with, it'll be the other one. Now this minigame is pretty straightforward, but it's easy to get confused upon first entering, so I'll break down each step for you. You don't need any items for this minigame except for 3 different types of herbs. This graphic on the screen now shows you the herbs you can use for this minigame. Throughout the minigame you'll be using 3 different types of pastes made from the herbs: blue mox, red lye and green agar. You'll need to create a bunch of each type of paste at the start. Using the chart, you can see which herb is the cheapest to use in this step to produce each type of paste. The cheapest herb to make mox is Marental, Toadflax for lye, and Lantadime for agar. By the time you watch this video, it may be different, so just double check the Mastering Mixology wiki to see this graph, as the prices are always changing. I personally have been using Harrowlanders, Quirms and Lantadimes because at the time they were cheapest. I wouldn't worry too much about a few GP either way, as long as you're not doing the expensive ones like Snapdragons or Huascas. Just make sure you select a herb for each paste type and buy a bunch of them. If you're just wanting to try it out, buy a few hundred of each. If you're wanting to greenlog the minigame like myself, you'll need over 1,000 of each by the end of it. How much exactly you need depends on which herb you pick, along with some RNG, so just buy more as you get more familiar with the minigame itself. Now you've got your herbs, you're ready to start. Take out the herbs from the bank chest here and use them in the refiner. You get the paste I was talking about. You'll need clean herbs, so if they're grimy, then clean them first. Once you have a bunch of paste of each type, run over here to the hopper. You can store 3,000 of each paste at a time, and you can see how many you've got at the top left of the screen. You don't have to worry about these pastes now until you run out. If you're running low, repeat what you just did. 3,000 of each will last you a long time anyway. Now for the main part of the minigame. Now I usually avoid relying on plugins for content in old school Runescape, as not all players have access to them, but the Mastering Mixology plugin really makes this a lot easier. I'll still explain what to do if you don't have the plugin, however, for those mobile players out there. When you arrive in the main room, you'll have a bunch of tables, potion cabinets and machinery. It's all confusing, just ignore these here, it's just decoration. For the first part, focus on these here. The goal of the minigame is to complete different work orders. Every order will consist of 3 different potions that you have to make, listed at the top left here. The plugin shows you the correct combination next to the potion name. If you're making a Mystic Mana Amalgamation potion, you'll need 2 blue moxes and 1 green agar. To select this combination, hit the left blue button twice and the green middle button once. Then click on the mixing vessel in the middle of the room to collect that potion. Now you'll need to do this twice more for the remaining potions. A Liplac Liquor potion is LLL, so hit the red right button 3 times. Then again on the mixing vessel to grab the potion. Then let's say it's a Marley's Moonlight potion. Hit the blue button twice, then the red button once, then grab it from the mixing vessel again. Now you've got all 3 potions, but there's just one more step before you finish them. But before I move on, for those who haven't got the plugin, the way you find out which combination it is that you have to mix, just look at the names at the top left of the screen. This is how it'll look without the add-on, without the codes. What you do now is decipher each and every potion by looking at the names to work out which combination is which. Or you can just use the Mastering Mixology wiki, load up this chart next to your screen, and it tells you exactly which one is which. Eventually you probably won't even need to use this chart as you get used to them. As for the levers themselves, they're colour coded if you look close, they're just harder to see when you've not got the plugin. The next section is processing these potions using either of the 3 workbenches here. The type of processing required is not dependent on the type of potion you're creating, but instead all to do with these symbols here. The cauldron symbol is the concentrating one here. Funnily enough, the table with the cauldron on it. The V symbol is the bottom middle table here for homogenizing the potion, and the remaining symbol is the table on the right here for crystallizing. If you have the add-on, don't piss about remembering each one of these, just click on the pink colour. A quick note, the game will always process the unfinished potion closest to the start of your inventory first, excluding already finished potions. Make sure you process all 3 potions, then once you've done, click on the conveyor here to complete the order. One quick tip I have to speed up the processing stage: the cauldron on the left can be spam clicked every game tick to finish it quicker. The bottom homogenizing station can be clicked once within 2 game ticks of seeing the visual and audio cue to speed that one up. And the right crystallizing station can be clicked once when the bar is about a quarter of the way, which will always be on the 5th pump of the bellows to speed that one up. I recommend turning on sounds for the bottom and the right stations, as it can make getting the timing a bit easier. Failing to click at the correct time can reset the progress of processing that particular potion. It's not the end of the world if this happens, you'll get it after a bit of practice. The right one has an especially short window to click compared to the others. If you have an add-on, the pink colour around the bottom and the right station will turn green and make a sound when it's time to click. That's basically it for the minigame. You just repeat this process to complete different orders. One more thing that may happen approximately every 7 minutes throughout this exhilarating minigame: a herb may spawn in one of the 4 corners around the room. When you see the text in your chat box, or if using Runelight, a green border around the herb, click it and add it to any potion you want to double the XP and points gained by that specific potion. Now, which potion should you choose? The answer is the potion with the most lipase in it. If you don't have a potion in your current order with any lipase in it, then just wait until you have. This is for 2 reasons. Number 1, you'll get more experience. Number 2, when handing in potions, you'll get free currencies which correspond to the type and amount of each paste you've used in the potions in the order. Considering that every single collection log slot item you purchase from the shop here requires more lie points than the other 2 currencies, this will be the main currency stopping you from getting the rewards. So you'll want to make sure you prioritise these. The only exception are the Apprentice and Adept potion packs, which you can buy at the end to use up all those extra points if, like me, you choose to leave forever after getting all of these collectibles. Now I'll go through each of the rewards. These 3 packs here are not collection log slots. I use them only to use up remaining points. Maybe Iron Men will find these quite useful however, and if you're a main, then the average value of the Apprentice potion pack is 8k, the Adept pack 30k, and the Expert pack 60k, for your information. The Prescription Goggles is a collection log slot and is very useful, giving you 10% chance to save your secondary ingredient when mixing potions. The coat, pants and gloves are also collection log slots but are entirely cosmetic. This set does not work the same way as all the other skilling sets in the game. Only get these if you want a green log. The reagent pouch is another collection log slot item and can hold secondary ingredients when making potions, meaning you can create 26 potions at a time instead of 14. The potion storage is not a collection log slot item, but I definitely recommend it to have a separate tab in your bank just for all your potions, whilst also saving on bank room. If you're struggling for bank room, I have a lot of other great tips on how to make more space in your bank, in addition to decluttering and reorganising your entire bank in one of my videos. I'll post a link in the description of this video. The next reward is the Chugging Barrel, which is another collection log item. You can use this to drink up to 5 doses of potions at once, allowing for faster regearing and potting. The caveat is that it can only be used by a bank. Mine went straight to the Grand Exchange recently for an easy 7 million coins. It's dropped down a lot in price since it's released, but there's still a bit of profit to be made if you just want to sell it. The Alchemist Amulet is the next reward and the last collection log slot item. It's basically a regular Amulet of Chemistry but on steroids. It holds more charges than your regular Amulet of Chemistry, and it can be recharged by using the Amulet of Chemistry on the Alchemist Amulet. Wearing the amulet gives you a chance of creating an extra dose when making potions, which can significantly reduce the cost of training Herblore over time. And finally, we've got Aldarium, a secondary ingredient used to make goading potions or prayer regeneration potions. Pretty useful potions, especially if you're an Iron Man and can't just buy them from the Grand Exchange exchange. Although I made my thoughts clear on the minigame itself, most rewards are admittedly pretty cool and can be a nice break from the regular Herblore training if you want to go for all the collection log slots like I did. And if, like me, that's something you're interested in, click on the video here for a complete guide on getting all the skill in collection log slots in game. And until next time, I'll see you later.